So guys, for the next few days, well, I'd say next week, there is going to be a bit of a change. The reason why is, if I haven't mentioned it beforehand, I'm actually away on holiday at the moment, which basically means you're not going to get the same kind of content you had beforehand, and you're going to have shrieking children in the background because I'm away with my family. So yeah, that basically means I'm going to be uploading a little bit less often, and unfortunately that also means that the gameplay you're going to be seeing is not live because my laptop doesn't like BlueStacks, which is great. Nice preparation there, JB. Great. And unfortunately as well, that also means I have no webcam, which means I'm going to have to recruit someone else whilst I'm playing a little bit of ring domination, which is, as you can see on the screen now, I'm playing with Hell's Darkness. And I've just got a low battery setting because I'm actually recording on my phone with an app called Shoe. Simply put, I'm going to have to recruit someone from the streams to actually kind of host the videos for the time being. And I thought, who better than the Crab? So the Crab is actually going to take place in the cam just purely because, you know, it's fun and people like the lols and stuff. Anyway, we are going to be looking at ring domination, team ring domination, which is what I've been playing now. I was hoping for another pro from this event, and I wasn't necessarily disappointed, but it wasn't a pro for me. But the card is still an additional card in SummerSlam tier, but nothing compared to what was announced yesterday. Now, the reason why this is a very important video is because we have had the new Money in the Bank rewards announced. As new Money in the Bank rewards, it's been speculated for a long time. Before we talk about those, I am just going to let this get the first shard because I get this in just a second. Get myself the first shard of Team Ring Domination with guys in the team as well. And let me know in the comment section below if this is a pro for you. I get my rest of my picks done, and it's a bit weird with Team Ring Domination. I actually prefer it this way than the kind of shard reveal. At least for most of it anyway, because you're not thinking that it's constantly rigged against you. Whereas Ring Domination Normal, you kind of think it's a bit rigged against you. But there you go, you can see the reveal of it is The Miz. Now The Miz actually is a mid-tier card in this tier, in SummerSlam tier, which means if it's a pro for you, it's a pretty good one. The other thing that I think is a little bit rigged as well is that it does actually tag with Finn Balor, the most recent event card, which has just come out. And just a spoiler alert, unfortunately, no longer the Universal Champion because he had to relinquish the title after he basically got injured pretty badly, knocked up pretty badly at last night's pay-per-view. Well, not last night's pay-per-view, the SummerSlam pay-per-view. So he had the event card. He's obviously won an amazing match against Seth Rollins and had to then give that up, which is just a tad of a shame. But the fact of the matter is that if you do have yourself a pro Miz, pro Finn Balor, you're going to thank your lucky stars for it. And the next thing I want to talk about potentially makes it even more rigged. There is a guy out there who got his freebie in the Miz. He opened the pack and got himself a Rusev. And he is now sorted because the newest Money in the Bank rewards have been announced. And it's not what people expected. A lot of people expected them to carry on with the WrestleMania cards, all to allow some normal SummerSlam cards to come into effect instead, so you wouldn't have OP event cards. Well, maybe this says a lot for how long this tier is going to potentially last, or it depends on how much these are worth, and I'll comment tomorrow on that because that's when you'll be able to see how many contracts you have to spend to get these cards. And I'm building my way up now actually as we speak. I'm actually playing it whilst I'm recording here, and the cards are going to be the two people who are in that very, very controversial SummerSlam match between Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton. Now, the reason why that's controversial is because Brock Lesnar literally manhandled Orton. The match is full of stiff shots on both of them. It was obvious that the guys in the back and Vince probably told them both to just go at each other and just beat each other up. And I mean, the Randy Orton delivered, it looked like a stiff DDT off the rope, which looked very, very painful. And unfortunately, if you do it as Brock Lesnar, even if you're in the safety of knowing that WWE are going to protect you, they're not going to protect you. Brock is going to go ham. And as you saw, he elbowed him in the head quite badly as well, which is a move which is banned in both UFC and in WWE because it did leave a huge mark, which actually had to be covered up by staples. Now, Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton are going to be the newest Money in the Bank cards, and they're not ridiculously overpowered. It's quite nice that Finn Balor does actually free stat both cards. Let's have a look at Brock Lesnar first of all. He's got great power, decent toughness, actually a good amount of speed as well, and he's got a iffy amount of charisma. But at the end of the day, these cards are ridiculously overpowered. Now obviously it remains to be seen whether they're going to spread this over 2 Money in the Banks, so maybe have 2 shorter Money in the Banks and have the pros at a later stage, or they're going to allow people to get the pro straight away. If they allow people to get the pro straight away, anyone who has Money in the Bank contracts, I would say it's probably going to cost between, I'd say the levels of Becky Lynch last time, maybe 10,000 contracts. So if you've got those saved up, you are absolutely made, because this is going to be rigged as hell in things like King of the Rings, Road to Glory, Ring Domination. You are going to get smashed if you come up against these cards. These cards are better in every single way than the normal SummerSlam cards, which means that unfortunately people are not going to be very, very impressed. And I have to admit, the first reaction I gave, and I know a couple of other people gave as well, a couple of other YouTubers, was what the hell is going on? Now, whilst we're looking at these cards, this Brock Lesnar card, I am actually going to show you the newest pro I got, which was, you may have noticed it from the previous video, Luke Gallows. Really, really happy I got this. In fact, I'll just kind of mention what Kill Moose Kill said, and he said you couldn't think of a pro that you'd want more. Luke Gallows is one of those pros that I was really, really hoping I'd get, and especially when I pulled him in the pack opening I did. Although I am slightly regretting that now with everything that's gone on with Money in the Bank and whatnot. I am happy I got myself Luke Gallows, and he's a very, very good card. He's the better of the two, although I probably would want to have Anderson right now. I mentioned earlier on about the guy who got Rusev, and he got the Miz as well. He's now got a left-right tag and an up-down tag if he gets Brock Lesnar. Now, whilst we're looking at this, I'm just going to show you Randy Orton stats. Now, Randy Orton has a ridiculous amount of speed. He's actually faster than Finn Balor, and you can see there I'm actually going to be claiming my first King of the Ring rewards in a moment as well. But Randy Orton's card looks pretty sweet as well. He beats Lesnar in speed and charisma, loses in power and toughness. At the end of the day, that is not the most important thing. I can imagine a lot of people who are going for Finn Balor are going to be going straight for Randy Orton as the event card of their choice, so the game card of their choice and Money in the Bank. What do you think is going to happen in the Money in the Bank mode? Do you think they're going to split it over 2 events, maybe have 2 shorter events, maybe 2 20-day events? That could be very, very, very interesting if they were to go down that route. But I've still got this feeling they're just going to go all out and just maybe charge 10 to 12,500 contracts per card. People go ham for it. That would mean that you'd have to spend 50,000 contracts to be able to get those cards. It's not a mean feat at all. I don't think the Money in the Bank event is designed now. I mean, the first one with Reigns and Rollins was designed for people to be able to get both, I think. Whereas the second one was actually designed for people only to be able to legitimately get 1 or 2 cards at best. Especially if you were going for Becky Lynch and then John Cena or Rusev afterwards. It would be interesting to see if they did make the contracts ridiculously expensive. Now we're going to claim our first King of the Ring rewards. Let me know if you've done a King of the Ring and SummerSlam tier and what you got. I was hoping for a Diva because it's one of the only places I'm going to be able to get them, and I get a Diva. Yes, Dana Brooke, although unfortunately she's not the best. She's not got the best amount of stats. However, at this point in time, I'm happy that a Diva is a Diva, and it will help me out massively in, no, if I get a pro of her, that would just be insane. I'm another King of the Ring now, which I'm doing, and I'm about to go towards the quarterfinals of that. And if I was to get a pro of her at any point, that would just be good, especially at the beginning of the tier, because right now any Diva Pro is a good Diva Pro. There's a couple of people rolling around with them at the moment, and the stats are like over 10,000, 11,000 if you've got some of the best ones. It is slightly crazy. I also managed to get myself another WrestleMania card there. It will pop up in a second. But whilst we are on the subject of talking about the But whilst on the subject, going back to those Money in the Bank cards, let me know what you think in the comment section below. They are going to do with the Money in the Bank cards. Let me know what you got as your most recent SummerSlam card, SummerSlam pull. Were you lucky enough, like me? There's that Zack Ryder that popped up as well. And Zack Ryder probably makes a pro for me from the WrestleMania cards I have left over. And well, basically, are you happy that they've done this to the Money in the Bank cards? Are you unhappy that they've decided to go along with just making these cards available straight away? Do you think they're going to go down a very, very different option of maybe making the cards available over several events? Now, I personally don't think that they're going to spread it over several events. You got the Brock Lesnar card and the Randy Orton card. They're both SummerSlam cards. I think you're probably more likely to see a Backlash card, if we're going to be honest, which will be the next events for SmackDown, which is coming up. It does seem that this is the route they're going to be going down in the future. After watching a couple of interviews, which I'm going to be talking about in our next video, which is going to be, that's just me getting the SummerSlam Miz card. One of the things that we will be talking about in the next couple of videos is an interview that was done by Tubby Emu with the guys, and also Lucha Mania, with the guys at Cat Daddy at the most recent WWE event, where they were talking about some of the new features and whatnot they're going to be in season 3. They didn't confirm anything as such, but what they did say is that Money in the Bank is one of the events they're looking to potentially expand on in the future. That is all for today, guys. If you can remember just to leave a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you do already, then thank you very much. Look in the description for details for Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and Discord. I will see you all very soon. And one last thing, although I can't see it on the camera, still, Sully!